Hello and welcome to Homes for Lambeth's YouTube channel. My name is Claire and I would love it if you come to join me on the mat and let's begin our practice. So today you shouldn't need any props at all, just your good self. So come all the way down into any comfortable position. You could sit on a cushion if you need to, if kneeling isn't comfortable for you. And then let's settle down. So ground the hands onto your thighs. Take a nice deep breath in. Close down the eyes and release your breath on an exhale. Let it go. Let's do that twice more. Breathe in. Release out. Again, deep breath in. Let it go. To close down your mouth. And start to breathe deeply in and out of your nose. And find absolute stillness if you can. And there is the acknowledgement that that can be difficult. We always want to fidget, move clothes, rearrange hair, but see if you can drop all of that. And when you strip away this fidgeting movement and you become very still, you become much more present, much more conscious of where you are, what you're doing, how you're feeling. And it's part of dropping all of those external distractions so you just focus on the breath, on finding a tall, good alignment of your body. And notice how that shifts your mood. It's very difficult to feel down of energy if you are sitting tall and bright. And be really gentle with yourself here, being really kind, giving yourself the time to settle in. It's not an immediate all is calm. So going at your pace with the breath. And all that matters is you are practicing a deeper breath and practicing moving towards a place of greater clarity. If you don't get there, that's okay. And perhaps ever so slightly turning up the corners of your mouth. Just a real small smile. And notice how that shifts something energetically within yourself. Notice your body subtly moving as you breathe. So even though we are stripping away that additional movement, we are, of course, not hindering the movement of the body as you breathe. So you should absolutely be feeling that belly and that chest rise and fall with the ebb and flow of your breath. Breathing fully in. Breathing fully out. Let's take a few more breaths here. Softening your neck and shoulders to the best of your ability. And then together, let's softly open the eyes. Give them a little bit of a blink. They've been closed for a while. Take an inhale, sweep and circle your arms back. Really push them back. So you want to feel that stretch across the front of the chest and shoulders, and then lift all the way up to the sky. So hands join above the head. Take your gaze up. And then exhale, draw that prayer hand to your heart. Let's go twice more. Deep breath in, circle back, lift the chest, lift the face. Exhale, hands to the heart. Again, breath in, just a very easy, simple way of beginning to sync breath with movement. This time, take a deep breath in, circle. Take a deep breath out, right hand to the floor. Exhale, take that lovely side bend. And then inhale, we come back to center. And exhale, all the way to the other side. Inhale, back to center. And exhale, connect hands to the heart. Let's do that again. Inhale. So all of this, you could be sitting on a chair, on a sofa if you needed to. Exhale, sweep. Such a nice feeling to open into the side body. This we call lateral flexion of the spine, side bending of the spine. Keeps it nice and healthy and mobile. Deep breath in. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's go one more with that sequence. Deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, side bend to the right. Inhale, we come to center. Exhale to the left. Inhaling, lift tall. And exhale, hands to the heart. Let's come to transition onto all fours. You can get off your seat. Find a little bit of movement into your spine. So get really snake-like, spiral-like, circle-like, whatever resonates to you. And just find a little bit of organic, natural, freestyle movement. This is your opportunity to take a couple of moments on your mat, just having a play yourself, having an explore yourself. What feels good in the body? Is the urge to lift up and stretch? Did that side flexion feel nice for you? In which case you might play with taking perhaps hands off to one side, and you can bring that movement in this shape. And if you're really not sure, that's okay. You can copy what I'm doing. And maybe as you copy, you'll find the things that feel good for you. So often this easing hips down is really nice. You get a stretch through the front of the hips. You get a spine stretch. You could tuck the toes and push back, spreading through the toes if there's that desire just to connect a little bit into your feet. So of course, we cramp our feet into often ill-fitting, poorly made shoes. So the feet tend to feel really tight. So just by tucking those toes, hopefully you can see that they get a really good stretch. It's not always a pleasant stretch, I've got to be honest. Come through. Let's take a couple more freestyle movements before we pull it together to something a little bit more classical, a little bit more traditional. So moving around. If you're practicing in the morning, this is a really nice way to wake up your body post-sleep. And then from here, I want you to take a nice extended child pose, reach those fingers away, and then just come to snake all the way down onto your belly. Take a moment, extend your legs back, bring your fingertips forwards. Really rising high on the fingertips to inhale into this lovely high cobra and exhale, release back. And for the purposes of this movement, just allow the elbows to ease out to the side just for a bit more space. And we'll change that alignment later. But for now, just let it be very open and wide. Let's go one more for good luck. Big squeeze and lift. Don't worry if you don't come high up. and release. And then hands underneath the shoulders. Now we close the elbows into the body, and that's where they stay. Take a deep breath in. Come to transition into that first downward facing dog. Paddling through your feet. Driving one heel to the earth. Second heel to the earth. And just connecting into this upward facing, this downward facing, shape. So it's an upside down shape, isn't it, really? Keep pedaling. And then move your feet hip distance apart. Take a deep breath in and out. And then let's bring those hands all the way back. Soften the knees. Help yourself get there. So you're all the way to the back of your mat. And just hang floppy, ragdoll style. Swaying left to right. If that doesn't feel good for you, you could sway forwards and back, lifting perhaps the heels and then rocking back just a little bit and picking up all 10 toes. That's a nice one. And if you are nowhere near the floor and your body is somewhere here, then that's also okay. I would take your hands behind you and instead take the sway here. That just takes that concern out of the brain, because that just seems to happen. If people can only reach here, there's that judgment on themselves. Why can't I touch the floor? Don't judge yourself. So take the arms away, and then there's no pressure to go, my hands are nowhere near the floor. So it doesn't matter. And just instead of the judgment about what you can't do, it's the congratulating yourself on what you can do and how good it feels just to stretch. It doesn't matter if the hands touch the floor or not. You still get this lovely opening into the back of the legs, into the spine, and into the neck. Let's slowly meet together at the top of the mat. So just roll up, stack your spine. And when you get to the top, always nice just to take a couple of shoulder rolls, and it feels just like you're picking up and setting those shoulders back where they belong onto the back. Stand tall for a moment. Tadasana, mountain pose, feet in a hip distance apart. Take a deep breath in. So you're up, you're standing, you're on your feet. And take a moment to feel the strength, the steadiness of your mountain. Breath is full. And come back to that awareness of the breath if you've lost that. And then just heel toe your feet completely together. And let's do the same pose that we did seated. Let's now do it standing. So deep breath in, lift up, chest lifts. Exhale, we bring the prayer hands to the heart. And we do that twice more. Inhale, firm up the legs as you lift and expand through the heart. Exhale. Final time, breath in, reach. Nice and energized, uplifted. Exhale. Let's add in those side bends. We take the inhale to lift. Exhale, we side bend to the right. So it's a little bit of a bigger stretch now. Inhale, lift up to center. And exhale, other side. Lift back up to the sky, face upturned. Exhale, prayer hands to the heart. So again, linking breath with movement, twice more. Inhale. Side bend, exhale. Inhale, tall. Side bend, second side. Inhale, lift. Hands to the heart. Final one, deep breath in, just becoming familiar with the movement. So it's a familiar pattern. You don't need to think about it. You just need to move, experience, breathe, feel. To lift up, to bring hands together at the heart center and come to step to the top of your mat. Keep your feet together if you can. Let's take a classical sun salutation, saluting to the sun, which feels very apt now that we're traditionally and fully into spring. Here we go. Deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, melt all the way back over your legs. Maybe hands come to the floor, maybe they come to the back of the legs. Step your right foot back. It's a giant step into that fingertip lunge, and take a moment here. Come right onto your fingers. Give yourself lots of space and try to lift your chest just a little bit away from your thigh to the best of your ability. Back leg is strong. Feel your legs firing up, particularly the front one. Take a nice deep breath in, hands down, exhale, sweep that leg back, find your downward facing dog. Take a shake of the head when you get there, and then inhale, ripple like a wave into plank, and gently bring your knees, your chest, your chin to the floor. Elbows pull back. Take an inhale into cobra, hands underneath the shoulders. And take an exhale, move back, downward facing dog. Take a full round of breath here, giving yourself that opportunity to ground into the pose. And then bring your feet together. Sweep the right leg to the sky. Inhale, we lift. It helps give you a little bit of momentum to step, swing, place it in between the hands. We take that inhale here. And then exhale, foot meets at the top of the mat, folding over. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep and rise. Exhale, draw the hands together at the heart center. Let's move that to the second side. Inhale, sweep, lift up, chest up. Exhale, melt all the way over your legs, let it go. It's your left foot this time. Giant step back, heart lengthens forwards as your back heel reaches back. So you're pulling into two completely different places here, a forwards and a backwards move. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, transition into that downward facing dog. Inhale, ripple like a wave into plank. Exhale, gently lower the knees, the chest, the chin to the earth, hands under shoulders, maybe a little wider. Take your inhale, ease into cobra. And exhale, transition, downward facing dog. Again, that full round of breath, inhale. Settling, exhale. Feet together as your left leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, pull it through, step or place it in between the hands. Take a look forwards, inhale. Step forwards, exhale. Inhale, come all the way up to the sky, lift the chest. Exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. So now that you are familiar with that flow, let's go one more time, exactly the same. And just try to focus on this second round, not so much on what pose comes next, but how you feel as you move through the poses. So the feeling state. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Right leg back. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Real full long breath. Inhale, plank. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, small cobra or high cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feet together, right leg lifts. Inhale. In between the hands, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift, deliberately keeping the pace slow. Exhale, hands to the heart. So really expand the breath in those spaces. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Left leg back. Inhale. Downward dog. Exhale. Inhale, plank. Exhale to the earth. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, dog. Left leg lift, inhale. Exhale, place the foot. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, Tadasana. So taking that extra guidance and cues out so that you just, in its simplicity, just focus on movement and breath. Start to work into a little bit of twist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your right knee, place your right forearm to that thigh. You might need to walk the feet just a little further apart here to give yourself more space. On an inhale, lift your left arm to the sky. And on an exhale, reconnect to your forward fold. Let's go to the other side. Bend the left knee. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Let's go again. Bend the right knee. Inhale, left arm lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the left knee. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, forward fold. This time step your right foot back. You're back into that low lunge. Pause here and breathe. Right hand to the floor and bring a nice twist in here. Right heel plugs back. You got it, nice and strong through those legs. And then from here, turn both of your feet towards the left. So both toes turn to the left. Drop your right hip. I like to walk my front foot back a little bit to come into this hip stretch. It is quite strong on that standing arm. Let's breathe and lift. Inhale, lift up and arc. Exhale, hips lower. Again, deep breath in. Deep breath out. Inhaling and exhale. Windmill the hands all the way to the floor and step forwards and release that all the way over the legs. And let's move into second side. Left foot steps back. Left hand to the floor, right arm lifts. Dropping through your front thigh. And here we go with that twist. Both feet to the right, drop the hip and walk that right heel back a little bit more in alignment with that bottom hip, and we drop the hip. Enjoy the stretch. And then let's move into those up and overs. So inhale, lift up. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, drop. Good. Inhale, lift, transition forward, step forwards. Exhale, fold all the way over the legs. Bend the knees, inhale, sweep and rise up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Pause here and breathe. Close down the eyes. Let me put a little bit of light on. It's gone from being a very beautiful sunny day to a very dark sunny day. There you go. You can see me a little better now. So come to stand. Notice how the body feels after that twisting. Maybe a little bit more invigorated, alive, awake. Good. Let's start to add on to that flow. So feet hip distant apart again. Deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, melt over your legs, let it go. Here come the twists. Right knee bends. Inhale, left arm to sky. Exhale, forward folds. Bend the left knee. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, forward fold. Right leg steps back. So far, everything that you know, that you're familiar with. Right hand to the floor. Move into that lovely lunge twist. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. We pivot the toes towards the left. Walk the back foot back and sink through the hips. Take those lifts. Inhale, lift, get the lovely side stretch. Exhale, drop into the hip stretch. And if this feels too much, my friends, it is strong on this supporting arm, then just come back, stay in your lunge twist and stay there. Yeah, let's take one more. If you're coming with me, inhale and exhale. So here's the change. We pivot back, and this time keep turning all the way to the right. Separate your feet nice and wide and come into that wide-legged forward fold. Cup your elbows and just start to sway left and right. Let it go. So easing into hamstrings, easing into inner thighs here. And then let's come all the way back. We reconnect to that fingertip lunge. Roll your shoulders back, get long. Take a deep breath in. Step right foot to meet left. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep up to rise. Exhale. Smooth that through to the second side. Deep breath in, lift up. Deep breath out, melt. Let's bend the left knee first. Inhale, right arm to sky. Exhale, fold. Then the right knee. Inhale, left arm to sky. And fold. Let's step the left leg back. Giant step back. So you want the hips to be quite low. So if you only step the foot a little way back, it's quite difficult to get into that lunge. So do make sure it's pretty big. Let's take right hand to the sky. Lunge twist. To pivot both toes all the way to the right. Right foot walks back. Drop the hips. Inhale, lift up, rise. Exhale, release. Inhaling, lift. Exhale, this one brings you back. Inhale, lift, you pivot. You get a moment to just relax through that arm. And then this time, turn all the way to the left. Heel toe the feet. Super wide. And then once again, come into that relaxing, wide-legged forward fold with the flow, with the sway. Take another inhale and exhale. To lift up, come all the way back to that front foot. Take a nice deep breath in, step forwards to finish the flow. Exhale, Uttanasana, let it go. Bend the knees, inhale, let's sweep up, rise up. And exhale, hands to the heart. Beautiful. Let's give the body a moment to work a little bit more in stillness rather than flows. Let's bring the hands to your lower back and fingertips point down. And the heel of my hand is resting onto the sacrum. From here, squeeze your elbows back, lift up your chest. And that might be just where you stay. And keep actively lifting your chest to the sky rather than sinking and pushing the hips forward. So less about the hips, more about the chest. Hopefully that makes sense and you can feel that difference in the body. So the hip sink doesn't really feel very nice. You can see how it crunches my spine. So just easing them back a little bit and just working the upper body feels much nicer in the lower back. Take another inhale and exhale. You've been here for a while. And then release, come out of that back bend and let's come into a little bit of shoulder work. Right arm on top of left. Bend your elbows. Lift up through your elbows, and you have the option of staying here or with that right arm, taking hold of the left fingertips. Either way, legs are firm, elbows are lifted, and you're coming back into a very similar position to what you've just been in, with chest lifting to the sky. So part gentle back bend and part gorgeous shoulder stretch. So deepen the breath if it feels that you need to. And then release, unwind, and explore that second side. Left arm on top of right, then the elbows. Stay here with the unbound version. You can still get a sense of lifting up the elbows, even if the hands aren't clasped. Otherwise, left hand cuts in front. Right fingers to left palm, and then squeeze the legs together and lift. Take another deep breath in, just enjoying that stretch into shoulders. And release, let it go, shake out the arms for a moment. And let's come back into the legs. Step your feet a big distance apart, right heel in front of left arch. So you open your arms, drop then your left arm and lift and tilt yourself back. Reverse triangle, both legs straight. Belly zips in, tailbone lengthens down right between the legs. And feel like you are lifting your rib cage out of your hips. You get this lovely opening into the side body. And then from here, reach forwards, reach forwards, reach forwards. Right hand just below the knee into triangle. So such a lovely one. Nice and strong through the lower body. Nice and open and spacious through the upper body. To lift all the way up, and we're going to do that to the other side. We're just going to switch the feet. So left toes now forward facing, left heel cuts into right arch. Now my toes are slightly turned out. Open the arms for a moment and then drop the right arm, palm turns up. It's almost like you're scooping and lifting something all the way overhead. You're leaning back over your right leg, your back leg. And just as you're here, breathing, experiencing, just dive into the breath for a moment. Full inhales. Just remind yourself to keep that breath fluid and clear and full. And then hinge forwards. My hips go back as my torso lengthens forward. Left hand below the knee. Make sure you stack one shoulder on top of the other and expand out. Triangle pose. To lift up. Let's come back to the side, turn your feet parallel and go even wider and come back to that pose that you've been working. But this time, let's just stay here, hang and breathe. So no sways. If your hands meet the floor, maybe take them back, fingertips point away. And if the hands are nowhere near the floor, that's okay. They can be rest onto a block or some books, or you can just ground them somewhere onto your legs. So no matter what version you are in, your head is relaxed, your neck is relaxed. And you're just getting into this opening into the legs. And have a play. If you notice that you're locking your knees back, just bring a little bit of softness there. Just to encourage the muscles to work and hold you in this pose rather than the knee joint. Let the breath go. to lift right up onto fingertips, get nice and long. Let's turn all the way to the front foot. For me, that's the right foot. And then take a step back into downward facing dog. Full stretch back, lengthen through your spine. And then gently bring the knees down and just come to roll your hips down and make your way all the way onto your belly. Bend your right heel towards your seat. Can you reach behind and take that foot? Bring forehead to the floor and get this lovely quad stretch into your right thigh. So the more you draw that heel towards your bottom, the more you're going to feel the stretch. And the more that you then lengthen your right knee towards the back of the mat, the more you will feel the stretch also. Such a nice one to just find a little bit more stretch into the front of that thigh. Our quads tend to be really tight just because we use them so much with getting up and standing and squatting and walking. So this is just a really nice one to just feel like you're lengthening some of that out. Let's gently release that leg and swap hands. And of course, some of you will also feel this as a shoulder stretch just by the very nature of taking that shoulder back behind you. Breath is still moving in and out of your nose. And then for your next few breaths, if it's accessible for you, don't worry if it's not. You could just stay with working one leg at a time. But if you wish to have a feel of grabbing both feet and then connecting forehead to the earth, squeezing the shoulders back, then you could do. So just a gentle version of bow. We're not coming into the back bend. We're just keeping with the quad stretch. And take another couple of breaths here. And then let's gently release the legs. Well done. Bring the hands behind you, turn the palms down. Let's come into supported locust. Inhale, lift the legs, lift the face and the chest, and exhale. Hands stay to the floor though. Inhale, lift up, push palms into the earth. Exhale, release. So point through your feet to help you activate the legs and the glutes. And so you should feel this into the back muscles, but also into the back of the legs, and the glutes are working super hard. Twice more. Inhale into locust. Exhale. Here's your final one. Inhale, we lift. And exhale, release. Hands underneath the shoulders. Take an inhale just to help yourself transition into child pose. Just relax, lengthen through the back. Bring forehead to hands. Big breath out. And just give yourself a moment here to feel this rest pose. And then slowly lift up. Well done. Come to make your way onto your seat. Extend your legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. Sit nice and tall. And then exhale. Begin to fold forwards. Feeling a connection into the back of the legs. For those of you that wish to straighten the legs, of course you can. Your choice. See how your hamstrings feel today. Take 3 more breaths. So you're just starting to relax now. You're bringing the energy down a little bit. And then let's slowly lift up. Come to make your way onto your back. So you hug the knees into the chest. And then from here, cross your right thigh over your left thigh. And then hug the knees into the chest and take a hold of the shins. Trying to pull your feet ever so slightly apart. So into this lovely hip stretch. Perhaps noticing if the body wants to tip to one side or the other. Can you do your best to keep it stable and steady? And perhaps as the body cools and as you move towards your rest in your Shavasana, maybe you want to put layers on, jumpers, turn your lights off if you're practicing in the evening. So you're just sending the right signals to yourself that it's time to relax. Let's change the legs, left on top of right. To draw legs in together. Once again, grab the shins or whatever you can grab, whatever you can feel. Breath nice and deep. You're starting to settle on down now. And then unwind. Bring your feet to the earth and just take them as wide as your mat. Just make sure they're parallel rather than turned out. So your knees are apart. And you can just either flop your hands by your side, or you can, if you wish, if it feels comfortable, hold them at the back of the head. And then start to sway your knees right and left. So it's a very slow windscreen wiper flow. And as you go, this should feel really nice in relaxing and releasing the lower back. But also you get a really nice front of hip stretch and a little bit up into the waist and the tummy as well. So this floppy leg twist, very casual. And by the very nature of the hands being over the head, means you also get a little bit of a chest opening as well. So next time those knees flop to the right, just let them drop and just let it go. Close those eyes down. Just enjoy the stretch here. And this is a really nice shape to do. If you've had a busy day and you don't want to do too many stretches, but you feel like you want to do something, this is a really nice one to do at the end of the day. Let's change, other side, knees to the left. And return to center. Give those knees a good hug in right at the end, and just for a moment, curl up, bring your forehead, doesn't matter if it doesn't touch, but just come and bring your forehead towards the knees. Feel that stretch into your mid-spine. And then come to find your way into Shavasana. Legs out, palms up, take a fidget, make sure you are comfortable. And then take a deep breath in. Let your breath go out of the mouth. Relax, rest, and let's find a minute in stillness and in quiet. to take a deep breath in. Gentle sigh out. To start to find gentle movement into the body. Feet, fingers, wrists, ankles. And then bring your legs together, interlace the hands, reach them all the way overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. And then gently draw your knees in, one at a time. Again, taking that extra time, sweeping left and right. And then slowly roll over to one side and take a moment onto your side. And then when you're ready, come to find your way to a comfortable seat. Eyes are closed for a moment longer if you can. Take a breath in and out. Bring your hands together at the heart center in gratitude to yourself for finding this time to practice. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste. Thank you so much, my friends. I hope you enjoyed that practice. Your body is feeling better for moving, and your mind is feeling a little calmer, a little less cluttered. Know that I'm here again next week. If you want to find out a little bit more about what Homes for Lambeth are doing during this time, please go onto their website. It's got all the information there. That's www.homesforlambeth.co.uk. Otherwise, thank you once again for joining, and I really look forward to seeing you in another class. Thank you.